And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today I have something special for you, and it is how to know that you will succeed. When you start on your journey as a feminine little boy and you have a desire for absolute massive abundance and success in your life, obviously you're gonna start wondering, will I actually be able to do it? Oh, but I'm trying to compare myself to other people and they just have had it so much easier than me, and it's so difficult for me to fight through my troubles and blah 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 blah. Okay, you're gonna have a negative self-talk. Everyone starts out that way, and it is the way it's supposed to be in many aspects. Okay, like it's normal. It's not good, okay, if parents have built their kids up in the right way. Kids will have a great self-image and a great desire for, and a great confidence that they can achieve whatever they want to achieve. But most of us grow up out of dysfunctional families because of the dysfunctional nature of monogamy, so there we have it. We all have those problems, but I'm going to share with you now how you can overcome it, how you will for sure achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And you can even think somewhat irrationally, okay? Think huge, think big about what you want to achieve, all right? And then you will achieve it. And I'll explain how you're going to do that. So let's first take this aspect. This is from my Instagram page. Okay, let me fix the window so you guys see. Okay. As you can see here now on the screen, you'll find my Instagram page. For those of you guys that are not following me on Instagram, go check it out. Okay, it's at Men of High Value. Very simple, very small account, 330 followers. And basically, what I'm explaining with this chart, this is one of the best charts that I've ever seen of success in one simple chart. Okay, write it down. And, give me some credit if you start promoting it somewhere else. But you basically have confident and non-committed at the top there on the left. And then you've got, at the bottom on the left, you've got non-confident, non-committed. And then you've got, on the right-hand side, non-confident and committed. And at the top, confident and committed. Now, in a relationship, okay, let's say that our romantic sexual relationship is the most important for us. Which one do you think works the best? Okay? How do you know that you will succeed in a relationship, a romantic relationship? Which one are you going to choose? Exactly, right? It's confident and committed. This is such a rare thing today. Very often, girls will find a guy that's confident, and usually he's confident because he has multiple options, and he's got a lot of girls that he can choose from, which makes it very difficult for her to be sure and to be trusting that this relationship is gonna last. Because since he has so many options, maybe he's gonna leave me behind, right? That's what women are thinking, so it's a very tricky situation there. But if a man is confident and committed, then you can know that that relationship will become a success, because a relationship success is completely 100% based upon the man choosing it to be a success. Okay? No matter who you are, if you know the principles that I teach on this channel and on the 3 Girls in Love channel, it is impossible for you to lose a woman. Okay? It's not designed for you to lose her, especially in monogamy. And monogamy is very simple. In 3 Girls in Love, maybe it requires a little bit more intensity in terms of female knowledge, right? Because it's, you're unexperienced in that aspect. But anyway, I'm just helping you guys to understand how to succeed in every aspect of life, not just relationships. But that one is very often very important for people because, you can lose a lot of money out of it. You can lose a lot of years out of it. You can lose a lot if you lose a relationship, okay? There's some guys who've been dumped and then they think about it for years and years and years and years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, move on with your life, man, or get her back. It's not that hard. So anyway, so you've got now the understanding of there's only 2 things you need in order for you to succeed in anything. Anything and it's confidence and commitment. But in order to succeed at those two, that's what's hard. Succeeding is not hard if you've got confidence and commitment. But success is extremely difficult if you don't have those two. So the problem is not really success or the thing that you seek out or the thing that you desire. The problem is your confidence. The problem is your level of commitment. Because if you've got those two, you will succeed no matter what. That's the way the universe has designed success. It's all about confidence and it's all about commitment. Repeating it again and again so you get it inside your brain. No matter what it is. You want to get rich? Well, guess what? It's about confidence and it's about commitment. How committed are you? How confident are you that you will achieve what you're going to achieve? Okay? Or do you want to become an elite athlete? Okay? For some people, it's a bit too late, right? Because, you got to compete with people that are somewhat like you. But I'm going to go into that a little bit more afterwards. But just so that you guys understand this aspect. Okay. How do you become confident? Because most of you guys are not confident right now. And most of you guys are not committed. Can we agree with that? That's why you're not successful. And that's why you haven't, made things happen into your life. Sometimes you guys are wondering, why aren't you successful? You're talking about success, but you're not successful, Joseph. How can you teach us about success? And I'm like, bro. Do you understand what I've done these past 5 to 8 years? I have a successful monogamous marriage, and I understand that monogamy sucks. And I've come to an understanding of the replacement of monogamy and solved the biggest question of them all on this planet for how to make happiness work here. Okay? Like, yes, we don't know how God is and how he looks like or where he lives and all that stuff, and that's a huge question. But we've solved the relationship question. That's what I've spent my time on. I started the journey trying to build businesses and failed all over again, and recognized that the reason why I was failing was because of my relationship. Was because I was being held back. Not because she was an excuse, okay? Not because my kids were an excuse, but because that is what holds people back the most. That's it. You solve that problem of relationships, success becomes so easy. It's ridiculous. But guess what? For me, it's not solved yet because I'm still in it. I'm still being held back by it. This is why I teach you guys voluntary celibacy for as long as it takes for you to become successful. So that when you are successful, it's not a problem anymore to retain and to make sure that these women are happy and all that stuff, because you are doing it. You're creating a correct environment for them. Them, plural, not one. Okay, so let's see. Confidence, commitment. Okay, so I'm teaching you guys about success because I am successful, but in a different environment, in a different arena. Okay? And I'm helping you guys to get success financially before you become successful in the arena that I'm successful in. So I'm happy. I've got a great relationship with my wife, great relationship with my kids, and pretty much everyone around me. I don't have any enemies. I mastered that one first. And to be honest with you, it's a good one to master. But I would master relationships and not the romantic one first. And check out my channel if you don't understand why I say what I say. So, but anyway, I'm explaining to you now, how do you become successful at whatever it is that you are trying to focus on and trying to succeed at right now? Number one, you've got to decide. Number one, you've got to decide to succeed. That's it. Very often, you have not decided what it is you want to become successful at. I'm going to mention more about that later in the video. So you got to decide what you want to succeed at, okay? And you are willing to dedicate 10,000 hours to it. And then you've got to decide that you're actually going to stick with it. It's a decision. Just like happiness is a decision for men, not for women. For men, happiness is a decision. We're different. Men and women are different. What's cool though for women, just a brief detour, is that once women are in the correct environment, happiness is also not a decision for them. They have to be happy. They're naturally happy and they can't fight it. If you create the correct environment for a woman, she will naturally be happy all of the freaking time. And that's like, how is that possible? Women are usually not happy and they're depressed and also, yes, because they're in the wrong environment. You create the right environment, they're happy all the time and they can't choose otherwise. It's amazing. But for men, they actually have to decide and choose to be happy and to live according to their nature. Okay, so that's something that we've been blessed with that we have to figure out. So it's pros and cons in terms of both, but yeah. It's a decision. You want to get rich? It's a decision. It's a decision. Okay? You want to be happy? It's a decision. You want to become successful at whatever it is you want to become successful at? It's a decision. And then you've got to stick with it. Because when you decide that you're going to succeed at something, you're meaning like you're going to be confident and you're going to be committed. Okay? It's a decision. Once you decide, that decision happens in one split-second moment. Right? And maybe you'll feel differently tomorrow. Or maybe you'll feel differently in a week. Oh, because it's so hard to do this thing, I quit. Or because you'll quit in 1 month, or in 6 months, or maybe even in 2 years' time. Why? Why are you undeciding when you decided? You decided to succeed, and then you suddenly stopped. It's because you need to make a decision daily. In many aspects. You make one decision, but the decision is to stick to it. Stick to it. That's what most people don't do. They're like, I've explained the airplane on the tarmac before, which is basically you start, it goes faster and faster, and then we stop. Okay, and we gotta start again. All right, we found a new project, guys. Let's go. He wants to choose another project again. Okay, let's go. Oh, yeah, it was very difficult. Oh, man, it takes too much time to do this. Oh, I'm not making any money. Oh, people say that I shouldn't do this, and I shouldn't invest in this. And, people say that I'm going to go to hell if I do this. But blah, blah, blah. My mom, I need to take care of my mom. And let's slow down, guys. Sorry, he wants to run the tarmac one more time. Clear for liftoff. Let's go again. Okay, and we start a new project. No, not this time either. How many times can you do that throughout your life? How many times? Because those are basically, that's what everyone does. Okay? Success is easy if you freaking take off. But the reason why you're not taking off is because you quit too early. It's because you didn't decide that you were going to stick to it no matter what until the very end. Okay? There are times for you to change projects, but that should take a long time for you to decide on. You choose to take a project on, and then it takes a long time for you to change. This is a principle taught in Think and Grow Rich, where he says that successful people, they make quick decisions, and then they use a long time to change those decisions. Okay? Unsuccessful people, they take a long time to make a decision, and then once they make a decision, if they finally choose to do so, you know what happens? They change the decision quickly. This is like they took a long time to make a decision, and then they're like, oh, I'm going to change the decision because it's not the thing I want anymore. Oh my gosh. And these guys are dating girls. Do you understand how confusing it is for women? Do you understand how we're creating a horrific environment for women where men start and stop? Or even worse, goes for liftoff and then drops the women down to their death, by dumping their asses, right? It's not their ass, it's your ass. But do you understand what I mean? Okay, so decide and then stick to it for a long period of time, because you need the exponential growth phase. Once you're successful at that one thing that you've chosen to stick to, it's so much easier to become successful at other things because you actually created success out of the thing that you did. And people just need to know a little bit of track record that you've actually succeeded at something in the past. If you have somewhat of a track record, then they can trust that you can help them or that you can, blah, blah, blah in the future, because it increases your reputation. If you don't get off the tarmac ever, then people are like, you got to start from scratch with people every single time. Build up your resume. Not your resume, because your resume sucks. And I don't want you to have a resume very often, because why would you want to have a resume when you're never going to have a full-time job ever again after the next 18 and 2.5 years when I'm done with you? As long as you're being coached by me. No guy who's being coached by me will ever have a job after 18 to 30 months. That's just not, it's ridiculous, okay? I've never had a job ever since I quit my job 4 years ago. At 30 years old, I said I was going to quit my job. I'm going to retire at 30 years old, and I quit. I didn't retire. I'm still working, but it's my own businesses, and now I'm grateful for that. Anyway, quitters never win. Winners never quit. Let's stick to it. You're committed. You're confident. Then you'll be successful. So, the second aspect to success, once you have made a decision and once you have decided to stick to it, no matter what, you're not going to quit, you're going to make it happen, then there's only one more thing. You know what it is? Numbers game. It's a numbers game. Success is a numbers game. And in what aspect is it a numbers game? And I'll explain right now. It's the hours, man. It's the hours. Because in the beginning, you're going to suck at it. That's normal. That's good. That's how it's supposed to be. How can you expect that you're world class at something, or at least proficient at something, if you've never done it before, even though you've committed and are sticking to it? You're going to fail. You're going to fail a lot. Good. You got to learn how to fail successfully. And the way you fail successfully is by getting back up every time. You fail? Awesome. Let's get back up. You fail again? Awesome. Let's get back up. And the key is to shorten the time frame that you get up after the fall. Do you understand what I mean? Like if you collapse and then you fail, you got to get up, but does it take you a month to get back up? Right? Maybe the next time it takes you 3 weeks. Maybe the next time it takes you 2 weeks to get over that fall and then get back on track. Or maybe it takes you a week. You see, it's a numbers game because you're continuously progressing and shortening the amount of time it takes for you to be depressed because you failed. And you're shorting it. Eventually, once you're masculine, you'll get to the point where when you fall, you're fired up outside your brain while you're falling. You're like, woo! It's like the roller coaster of life where you're going to fail, but you're fired up outside your brain because you're going to get back up the second you land. The second you collapse on the ground, you're going to be like, I'm getting back up. And you're like, oh my gosh, that hurt like a bitch, That type of thing, that type of mentality. You love failing, okay? Because it's going to make you a winner. That's why you love failure, not because failure is fun, but because you're going to get back up. And when you get back up, you're going to make it better. You're going to do better. You're going to improve. That's what naturally happens when we get back up again. We now have experience. This is one of my funnest things quotes that I got from Tony Robbins. Beautiful quote, where he basically says that success comes from good judgment. Good judgment comes from experience. Experience comes from bad judgment. Okay? Which basically means failure. You cannot get experience in anything unless you are willing and ready and able to fail. You want to stay away from failure? You only want to do things you're good at? You're going to suck for the rest of your life. You're going to stay on the tarmac. Having fun, showing the lights off for the airplanes. No, you want to be in one of those airplanes, right? You want to take off and become successful at whatever it is that you want to become successful at. Does that make sense? Like you want to get off, and that's why you gotta love failure. That's how you will succeed, because most people are not willing to go through the failure, because once they fail, they want to quit. And if they quit, they'll never know, right? Another aspect to the numbers game. Boom. Understanding compounding interest. Okay? It's the eighth wonder of the world, according to Albert Einstein. Compounding interest. Why? Because interest upon interest upon interest upon interest. This is what happens when you fail and get back up and try again. Guess what? You've gotten more experience. Now you have better judgment. Even though if it's just a small little 1% improvement, it's better judgment. It's experience. You've seen this before. It's like Groundhog Day, but now you're improving a little bit every single time. I've seen this before. Boring, mundane, repetition, consistency, but I've seen it before. I'm a master at this moment. I know exactly what to say. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to handle this situation because I've done it before. The only reason why people fail at things is because this is new. I haven't seen this before. I don't know how it works, and I don't know what I'm going to do, blah, 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 blah. And then they basically collapse and fail, right? But successful people have been in this situation 1,000 times before. 10,000 times before. You know why Grant Cardone is fantastic on the phone selling? Is because he's done it flipping 100,000 times. That's why he's failed a lot. Because 95% of what you do in any endeavor is failure. 95% of what you do. And especially in business. 95% of what you do fails, but and is an absolute waste of time, absolute worthless, and you can laugh about it because of how worthless it is, but the 5% is going to make you rich. Okay? That's how it works in business. It's a numbers game, and the compounding interest of you improving 1% per day, or man, do you imagine if you that means that you are 3 times better or 4 times better within a year than you were before. Every single year you improve 400%, your income 400%, your happiness 400% if you simply improve 1% every single day. Wow. You should talk to, well, I have one of my clients. I'm going to say you should talk to him, but he knows who he is. But I had a client sign up as Lewis Rebooted, and he signed up with me 2 months ago. He's been on my channel for a while, and he's been struggling with whatever he was struggling with for a long time, and then he signed up with me as a client. In those 2 months, I can promise you, it has not been 1% improvement per day. We're talking 10% improvement per day, maybe even 20% improvement per day. It's like night and day how his life has radically changed over the last 2 months. Same with Luista. Do you think his life changed once he started building his Instagram in June last year when he was like, I would like 1,000 followers on my Instagram. That would be really cool, man. I'd be fired up. All right. I'm not impersonating you. I'm just saying. And then he got to 20K within 6 months on Instagram as he was being coached by me. Do you understand that was not just a 1% improvement? That was not, he had like 500 or 600, which is basically like a 20x, a 2,000% improvement in 6 months. Okay, I'm just giving you numbers. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Just remember that. Do it more often. Do it more often. How many times have you done the thing that you want to become successful at? Over again and again and again and again and again and again. You got to become successful without using people. Okay, so for those of you who are players, this does not apply to you. I'm not talking to you about trying and trying and trying again with girls. This is not the time to do that, okay? I'm talking about those that are actually serious about success. Because if you are serious about success, you would and you will be voluntary celibate right now until you are successful. Don't dump your wife, though, or girlfriend if you have one. Another one, okay, more hours. The more hours you do what you do, the more successful you'll be. The more hours you fail at it, this is what I've written down, the more hours you fail at something, every single minute, every single hour of that failure, of you doing the thing that you're doing, is a win. So you're actually increasing in your confidence every single time that you do the thing that you're doing, even though that you're failing. So it's like a win, but you're increasing in confidence every time, so you're actually winning. You're actually getting improvement, even though you're failing. Does that make sense? Success happens on the other side of failure. And lastly, but not least, oh my gosh, if success is a numbers game, one person is not enough. You want to increase your numbers game? Learn how to lead. Because if you lead leaders, that's when success will pick up for you, right? Because you can enlist other people. Enlist other people who are actually fired up, and you create a win-win situation with them so that they can join you in your success, so that your success becomes their success. When that happens, you are exponentially growing your capacity because you only have 24 hours, right? Actually, you only have 12 hours because you can't work more than 12 hours per day, okay? Which means, but if you get another guy who also applies 12 hours in his own business, but you guys are connected in some way, shape, or form, then his success becomes your success. So you guys are running the tarmac together, pretty much on the same plane. So when you take off, he takes off at the same time. You're like pushing or running the engine together, getting off the tarmac, and it increases your commitment, and it increases your confidence because you've got someone else enlisted with you. Now, it sucks if they quit early, but that's the whole reason why I'm teaching this to you guys, because the more we build up a men of high value community of guys who don't quit, the better this community is going to be. So we're leading leaders who are leading leaders who are leading leaders, and then we can actually make some real damage in politics, in business, in everything that it takes in order for us to create a beautiful, beautiful earth. Okay, I just wanted to run through. I could make this into another video. Maybe I'll divide these up or anything. Let's see how long I've been speaking for. Because sometimes I talk for a long time. So, wow. Okay, not so long. So, but I'll end there anyway because that's just how it is. Hope you guys got a lot out of this video. There's so much more I could share with you. But I'm going to end it there. Just always remember, commit and then stick to it. And if you do that, you will become confident. And if you're confident, you're going to be on the team of the universe because Providence will move too. And once Providence moves, everything begins to be established because you're doing it for the right reasons and you're confident about it, so you'll never quit. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I will see you in the next one.